Today I'm going to show you how to install a front leveling kit on your 2005 to current Ford F-250. Jack up the truck and remove the wheels. Now this is one of the few leveling kit jobs that's actually somewhat easier to do on the ground, but if you have a lift, you're going to need a transmission jack or a really large piece of wood and a floor jack. So position your jack underneath the front differential, and then jack it up to give it some support. Now remove the lower shock bolt on each side and be ready to catch the little plate nut back here, because it'll fall out. 18 millimeter. Disconnect the sway bar end link on each side, 18 millimeter. If you get it free spinning like that, just take an 18 millimeter wrench, hold the nut, and take an 8 millimeter socket. Just turn it in like that. And do the same thing for the other side. Disconnect these brake line brackets on each side with 10 millimeter. Now you have to lower your jack to lower the entire front differential. Very slowly. Slow as you can. Lowering, make sure the sway bar doesn't bind on the end link stud. And while you're lowering, make sure the brake line bracket doesn't get caught on anything. Once you've got it lowered far enough, just snatch out the coils. Remove these two 8 millimeter bolts that hold the ABS line on. Now remove that center spring perch bolt. It's 18 millimeter. Remove the spring perch and you can discard this bolt. Now take the spring perch spacer that comes with the kit. You see it's got a little up angle thing there. Make that face the upper ball joint, just like that. And then you take the stock spring perch, sit it on top. New bolt comes with the kit. Get it in there. I like to make sure these reach at least 120 foot-pounds. You can use thread locker if you want. So now take your coil spring and go in like this. Up the top first. Get it in there. Careful of the brake line bracket. Out of the way. And you're gonna have to pry it in. These front ends don't drop down all the way, especially if you're doing a bigger leveling kit like this one is. There we go. Now just spin this to where it fits on the spring perch. The end of the spring has to butt up against that little lip there. And then it's in correctly. Now you can do the other side. Now at this point you can start reattaching your brake line and ABS brackets. For the brake line bracket, make sure that little tab right there goes into that corresponding hole in the original spring perch. With this kit, all the brackets just attached to their original stock locations. At this point, you can start raising the front axle. Get your sway bar end link nuts in place. Make sure they don't hang up on the studs like this one did. Just raise the front axle high enough to get the shock bolts in place. Take a little plate nut, slide it up behind here. Make sure the lower shock bolt gets torqued to at least 75 foot-pounds. Don't forget to torque down the sway bar end link nuts. And then just put the wheels back on and you're done.